Mens natten falder på, rejser vi mod nord. På valgaften kom der et markant resultat lidt over midnat. Byen Sunderland havde som den første større by i landet stemt overbevisende for at forlade EU. 61% af vælgerne her havde besluttet sig for Brexit. Det blev et varsel om, hvilken sensation der var på vej. Og derfor skal vi til netop Sunderland, der ligger i det nordøstlige England. Vi skal møde Alan Davies, som er den lokale formand for uafhængighedspartiet UKIP. Hernede bag ved mig er gågaden, og det her, den væg, er kladen til det, der skal blive et stort monument i granit. Ind i granitten vil man nemlig hugge navnene på alle de væsentligste skibe, der er blevet bygget i Sunderland. Her er for eksempel liste over, hvor mange skibe, der blev bygget i 1906. Som man kan se, så fylder det et pænt stykke over en spalte. Og så fortæller væggen byens historie. For når man så bevæger sig frem i tid, frem gennem det 20. århundrede, ender man i 1988. Det er det sidste år, der er med på listen. Og det år blev der bygget blot 9 skibe.
Sunderland have had shipyards for over 600 years.
Yeah.
And at one time, they reckon they were the biggest shipbuilders in the world. I mean, that's quite an accolade, that is.
Sure.
And to lose all of that in the space of 20 years, and the way it was lost as well, I think it's quite something, because it came at the same time as everything else. When
Sure.
the coal mines went in the same decade,
Sure.
and coal and ships was what Sunderland was relying on at the time, and since then it's never recovered. You can fit 10 of those buildings into the biggest of the old Doxford ones, which is still standing now.
Really?
I mean, that looks big, but that's 10 times the size.
So in 88, that was the sort of that was when the last of the bigger companies
That's when
closed down.
Doxford finally closed down.
Should we?
Now we'll just have a walk over
Sure,
here.
let's do that.
That's our new bridge, the Northern Spire.
So this is
Just about to be finished.
all right.
and
So
we-
that's just been constructed now to open when?
This spring apparently. So
Oh.
and it's so imminent, and the road is going to come through the main road up to Pally in there, and of course all of both ends would have been built on previous stockyard and shipyard areas. All of this here was all shipyards. It's all been flattened for the bridge.
And the hope for the bridge is to make, to do what? What do you expect
The
to
hope
come from
that
it?
the bridge is there to make Sunderland Council look good, I think. And I wasn't really too involved in politics at all. But when for some reason, I felt that the Maastricht Treaty was going to be impacting me as a new businessman, so I read into it. I read what it meant. I read some of the texts, and I read the papers about it. And I could have cried. I was really upset at the time as to what it meant. It was just taking away so much of our identity and our patriotism. It was changing the whole goalpost from what it was before. And from then on, I was quite anti the EU.
Right.
I knew it was taking us to more levels than just free trade and even free movement. They wanted to end up as one big state, don't they? That's the idea of it. And Cameron went to the EU begging for a bit of concession from them.
Sure.
To put to the people.
Yeah.
He came back to what most of the country thought was gobbledygook. And if they had just come with one or two little things that made a difference, that would have changed the whole vote. The 1 million, 2 million to Brexit would have been 1 or 2 to remain. But they give us nothing, because they were so sure that they had us in their pockets.
Now, Sunderland, of course, became sort of a symbol of Brexit almost. How is it going so far, you think?
Not very well, I don't think. Not the way people's talking about it, you know what I mean?
No.
I don't think it is, you know what I mean?
Were you surprised by the result?
I was, definitely, yes, yes. I thought there would be too many would want to stay in, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm quite pleased about it, like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You know, because the amount of money that's being paid, you know, by us, it's horrendous.
And were you born here?
Yes, I was born about 200 yards from where we are now.
Really? And you've lived here all your life?
I've lived here all my life.
Were you surprised by the referendum 2 years ago, by the Brexit vote?
Yeah,
Why?
because there's a lot of people voted against it and they shouldn't have.
Why not?
Because the sooner we get out of Europe and control our own powers, the better.
Were you surprised by the referendum?
Yes, disgusted too.
Yes.
Disgusted?
Disgusted.
We certainly don't want to leave Europe now.
Right.
Well, I voted to get out
Why?
because we're being governed by people that they got all their hands in their pockets. We aren't getting nothing. They're too greedy.
No. But are you talking then about Brussels or are you talking about London?
I'm talking about Brussels.
Right. Do you trust the politicians in London?
No,
No.
I don't trust any politicians whatsoever.
My thoughts are that some people feel very alienated in this country and as though they're sinking to the bottom.
Yeah.
And they voted to leave
Yeah.
as like a protest.
Yeah. Is that your feeling, sir, as well?
It could well have been a protest to the government at the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the government's still there.
I think Mr. Trump got it right.
Right.
We've got our country back.
Right.
We're not being dictated to by a bunch of people who aren't elected
No.
in Brussels.
Right. Do you understand those arguments? The arguments saying we want to be what we once were, we want to go back to be ourselves. No, why not?
I don't think they remember what they once were. I think the quality of life has improved.
I think it's nostalgia because I can't see many benefits in the past. I mean, I think we had to look forward.
All right.
And I don't think the future forward is terribly good at the moment.
Right.
If it hadn't been for us going to Europe, I think we would have still had shipyards and engineering here.
Right.
I think through going into Europe, we lost all that.
Well, do you expect there will be, a price to pay?
There always is.
Right.
There always is a price to pay, believe you me. Definitely,
So you're saying there's an economic price, but you're willing to pay it for...
Yeah?
Right.
Well, we'll have to be because we voted to come out, so we've got to take what you call the consequences,
Sure.
of coming out, But that's it at the end of the day.
Thank you so much. And you're saying that for the voters up here and for the people who did vote Brexit, what at top of their minds was the story of the shipyards in the 1980s?
Well, I didn't feel that at the time. I didn't think that at the time. But since it's quite obvious. It's the same feeling as why they will never let for a long time, even now, let Conservatives back into power in the northeast.
I 1980'ernes England blev krisen akut for kulminer og skibsværfter, også i Sunderland. Her havde mange mennesker oplevelsen af, at politikerne i London, anført af Margaret Thatcher, intet ville gøre for at redde deres arbejdspladser.
It is indeed ironic that trade unions were founded to protect their members from threats and bullying. And yet there are leaders who could say the word to stop violence, but who fail even to condemn it.
Selvom det er 30 år siden, har mange mennesker aldrig tilgivet de konservative. Det sidste værft lukkede i 1988. Det var en stor begivenhed i en by, hvor man havde bygget skibe i 500 år.
The Conservative government decided that Sunderland would be the sacrificial lamb and lose their industry. On the cards as well was Northern Ireland. Belfast had a shipping industry. They were left alone. Very troubled times for over then. They didn't want to muddy the waters with cutting theirs out. So Sunderland lost their... and I think that was the wrong thing to do.
The sacrificial lamb, you said?
Yeah, sacrificial lamb, Sunderland. The wrong thing to do because we'd already struggled with other industries. The coal mine,
Sure.
the double whammy for us. I was at the Sunderland Football Club just last week and sitting having a drink in the bar, and a group of Chinese came in, looking around the place, obviously looking to see if it was worth buying. I don't think they are going to buy it, but the Chinese are buying up the world as it is.
Sure, but that is sort of, China collectively or some very rich Chinese people who are doing that. If you
manufacturing.
Sure, but wait, person by person, employee by employee, those people who are standing, manufacturing the iPhones in China, if you took that wage, if you took that factory and moved it here, no one could make a living. They wouldn't been able to buy, a pint with the money they would make off the assembly line.
This is why we lose it in the first place.
Sure.
And I don't know what the answer is to that. I just know that the answer isn't just to ship it all across there. We had a big slogan in the past, made in Britain by British.
Sure.
The overwhelming feeling in Sunderland at least is that, well, other countries supported their industry, their shipping industries. France, Spain, Germany, they subsidised their industries more than we did. And the feeling is, for me at least, and for many people I believe, is that the British play by the rules too much.
But do you see Britain coming together now? Do you see the United Kingdom coming together? Whatever.
Yeah, I think once it's done, it's done. While it's not done, you'll have the Blairs and the all of the elites that lost it in the first place. They're the power of the country anyway. They're not going to sit back and say, "Oh, we lost. Let's go." That's the scheming behind the doors. They're having meetings and they're causing trouble. They're causing. They're on Twitter doing things to change people's mind. And this is why I don't think we should have another referendum now, because it's getting poisoned the same as the first one was.
Næste gang fortsætter vi et kort stykke nordpå. Vi skal over grænsen til Skotland og op til skotternes hovedstad, Edinburgh.
Yeah, I mean, Brexit was a very English revolution.
Yes.
It sort of happened by accident.
We are not going to give up on our relationship with Europe, whether it's economically, socially, or indeed politically, and we want our voice to be heard.
Altså, der er flygtninge, der skal beskyttes, der er grænser, der skal håndhæves, der er illegal immigration, som også skal håndteres, der er klimaforandringer på vej. Vi har virkelig mange ting at gøre.
This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy. But I'm afraid we've lost.
Om lidt Deadline, og derefter. Det er